everybody. Welcome to Ian Bagg Bought a House, a show about me, Ian Bagg, buying a house on the Virginia shore of a place called Cape Charles. And every week I come to you with a new segment and also a new expert. So this week we have Dan Dolbu, and he's out of Madison, Wisconsin, and he's a roofing contractor is his expertise from what I know. And we are going to learn a lot from him today. I have questions that have been sent in from Virginia Beach. Somebody's getting a new roof out there, and they want to know the difference. And I have questions just about roofing. I have a lot of questions, like when should we get a new roof? Should we always be paying attention to the roof? Is there something that lets us know that we're going to need a new roof? Is hail good for a roof? Those kind of questions are going to be coming up and a lot more. This week I was at home in Long Beach. What did we do? Didn't do much. Started the keto diet last week, so my God, my hair is greasy. I don't know if anybody's done that, but lots of eggs, lots of bacon, lots of fun, a little bit of spinach. Oh my God, and my wife has yelled at me more than she's ever yelled at me before. Apparently, sugar is a drug, and we're learning how to come off it. So it is a lot of fun. This week, tonight, I'm at Hermosa Beach Comedy and Magic Club. Come down and see me. We got a couple tickets left. Come down and see me. I'm not going to say. There might be some Los Angeles Kings in the audience tonight. Anyways, if you want to come down there, we got a couple tickets left. This weekend, I will be at Melrose Improv. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to be doing some sets down there. Also, a new thing starting this afternoon from the Laugh Factory. I am going to be playing video games on Twitch. I'll be playing NHL 2019. Tune in if you want to see an old man not know how to play hockey on a new video game system. It should be very interesting. Apparently, it is way different than the old Nintendo 3 buttons. So that'll be a lot of fun. So, my week. You want to know about my week? This is the big thing. So, my wife called me, and as she called me, I heard a bell go off in the car as she was driving, and I was like, "Oh, what's that bell? Are we out of gas again?" And she said, "No, it says oil pressure light." So I said, "Oh, that's interesting. I'm in the car home, and I'll take it in and get it checked." Guess who's getting a new head gasket as we speak? Yeah. So that was $2,600 that I wasn't expecting to spend this weekend, because I was also spending another $3,700 on a new air conditioner for the top part of the house, the upper floor. I ended up getting a new air conditioner, so that would turn into a $5,700 weekend. Make sure I would like you send in things. I'm not on Facebook right now, but if you send in questions or comments to us right now, Chris will get them. He'll write them down. He'll tell me them. He'll ask me questions. We can talk about the things that make you angry, the things that upset you, the things that you're not expecting that just kick you in the balls every once in a while. So that's we're up to 57. I don't know. We're up to some ridiculous number. Also, it's credit card weekend where I have to pay the credit cards. It's also a couple other bills. I'm up to about 10 grand for the weekend. And I'm just like feeling down and out and a little bit less in the back pocket. And then Monday morning, I get a call from the Ford dealership saying, "Hey, did you know you had extended warranty?" $100. I took it down from $2,600 to $100. Extended warranty, and my wife drives so much. We have so many miles on our car, and I say to her, "Can you get a boyfriend that's closer to the house? Can you at least walk to his house? It would make me so much easier, so much happier if we just had less miles on the car." Cheat it all you want. Just make me not have to get the brakes done as many times. Anyways, extended warranty worked out. I've never heard of anybody saying my extended warranty worked out, but this time an extended warranty worked out. I want to know, have you ever had an extended warranty work out? Let me know. Send in these questions or these comments on iTunes. Send it in. Let me know if anybody's ever had an extended warranty work out. Because if you know, on this show, I bought a fridge and I had I didn't even get the warranty to work the day after I bought the fridge and there was a problem. Like the day after, it didn't even work. So the fact that I got an extended warranty to work, it's thrilled. Do we have any questions before we start this up, Chris? Before we start going to something, We start a new segment this week called Guess What Ian Found for Your House. I found something for your house. I showed it to Chris when I brought it in today, and his head blew up. He's like, well, how didn't nobody else think of this? Why didn't I think of this? So I want to know if you guys have this, if I've blown your head up. I want you to stick around and learn about something that Ian found for your house. You're gonna be excited because Ian found something for your house, and it's from Target. It's not from Lowe's. Chris, any questions before we go?
Not yet.
Oh,
we'll get there.
Tell people they're dicks for not asking questions. How was your weekend, Chris? You do any stand-up?
I played the wonderful Tarzana, which is a very beautiful part of the valley.
Was it were you in a treehouse?
No, I felt like I was.
You don't seem happy about it.
Well, it's Tarzana.
It's part of Los Angeles. You shouldn't be putting it down.
No, it's a great place. It was.
Did they boo you?
No.
Did they accept you?
Mildly.
Did they laugh at you?
Somewhat, yeah.
Did they judge you?
It was mostly judgment, yeah.
Were they wearing loincloths?
I wish. That would be way more interesting.
Interesting, very much interesting. This week, my friends, we have Dan Dolbu on the show. Dan is from Madison, Wisconsin. He is a roofing contractor. He has his own business. I have many questions for him, and I want to thank him for coming on the show. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Ian. I am so stoked to be here.
You're stoked to be here. I am thrilled to be here. It gives me a couple hours off. Are you working today?
It's raining today, so we got a little house project going in the basement right now. I'm putting in an exercise room.
Oh, that's nice. I got a question for you then. As a roofer, does that shut everything down when it's raining, or are you just taking it off because it's raining?
It depends on how it's raining. If it's raining for a couple hours, we stop for a couple hours. But if it's raining all day, it's pointless.
It's just pointless, right? And is it a safety concern because somebody might slip, or is it?
Well, probably some of that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't want to be pulling off a roof in the rain.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So
you don't want everybody getting soaked.
We generally start at 7 in the morning and work until dark. We got some hours to blow.
You start at 7 in the morning. Have you ever had anybody complain that you're working too early?
Yes.
People
in Madison. In Madison, it happens.
What are they? And are you able to just tell them to go back in their house because it's legal times, or what happens?
Well, if they catch me at 7, they're right. It's too early. I gotta wait till 8.
Really? So you're bending the law a little bit.
If they catch me at 8:15, I'm like, forget about it.
Right. And 8 usually they don't. Somebody doesn't storm out at 7, right? They stew for about an hour, so it's too late. It's actually too late, right? So let that be a lesson to everybody. If you're gonna snap immediately. Never snap an hour and a half later. Too late.
Yep. Don't wait.
Question. My first question for you, and I have a lot of questions for you. How did you get into contracting itself?
So, but my first trade, I was a painter. So my stepdad was a painter, and I was painting since I was 13. My last painting company I had was in Breckenridge, Colorado. And when I came back to Wisconsin, which is where I'm from, they didn't have like the wood houses here. They don't have wood houses. They don't have log houses. So they didn't have your house painting. So I switched careers about 10 years ago to roofing. Was it
a difficult change? No.
No? Well, it took a while, because you have a business, you have to.
Did you start immediately? Did you start immediately with your own business, or did you work for somebody for a while?
I worked for somebody for a while, and then I was a general manager for somebody for a while, and then I had my own business with a partner, and now I have my own business.
Things just evolved, is what you're saying.
Sure. Sure. Same phone number though.
Same phone number. That's awesome that you're able to keep it. I love that. That's a good. Has the name of the company changed a couple times?
It has. It changed. Well, with my partner, we had a different name, and now we have Panther.
My question for you, when you're switching all this, I know that is Yelp positive or negative for you? Is it an annoyance, or is it a good thing?
I don't think people Yelp about roofers a lot around here. Most of that stuff is going to be on Facebook. Like if I go give an estimate, within 10 hours, I'm going to see that hit on my Facebook business page. Otherwise, unless it's in front of somebody all the time, you don't get a lot of hits. So.
Right.
But
I know what's the biggest, if I'm about to get a house, if I'm about to get a roof for my house and I'm having a couple different contractors come over and give me estimates, what's the biggest thing I should be aware of that I can be taken advantage of?
Okay, so great question. So let's say you're looking for a contractor. How do you go about doing that? All right. So you're going to find some local contractors. You're going to check out their web pages. You're going to watch their videos or look at their Facebook and see the kind of projects they're doing. They'll post that on Facebook and social media, so you can see that that's the kind of project I have. It's not too big or too small. One thing that you want to do is you want to have a local roofer, all right, that is a local retail roofer. And the differentiation is they're not insurance or what we call storm chaser roofers. You want a good local roofer is what you want. The insurance game is a whole nother conversation. That's an hour conversation, but you want to avoid those guys.
I'm going to interrupt you. The storm chaser insurance people, they're suggested by the insurance company. Is that what it is?
No, generally you come across them because they knock on your door and say, "Hey, Ian, I think we had a hailstorm here 6 months ago. Let's call your insurance agent, file a claim, get an adjuster out here to look at your roof and see if we can win you a roof." That's how they do it, but they do it in large volume, right?
Right.
So they have people filing claims for homes that will never get approved for a roof or never had storm damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that still shows up as a claim on the homeowner's insurance.
It costs you money no matter what. Yeah.
Especially if you're a dude that's going to be buying a few houses. You don't want a lot of claims. And you get it whether you get a check or not. You get the claim.
So if somebody knocks on your door, this is the first thing. If somebody knocks on your door and says, "We had a storm, let's check your roof," say, "No, thank you." That's the first thing I'm going to tell everybody that's listening to the show, watching the show right now. Do not say yes.
Get a cookie, give them a cookie on a napkin, say no thank you, and close the door.
Oh, that's nice.
If you really think you have that issue, what you should do is you should call your insurance agent.
So here, if you're having problems, call your insurance agent. Don't let some guy say, "Hey, you might have a problem. Let's call your insurance agent."
Yeah, because they're going to call an adjuster and send the guy out, and you get charged with that claim. If I go do an insurance roof, it's because an insurance agent had a customer call, and they called me and said, "Dan, can you go look at this person's roof?" And I'm certified to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go take a look at the roof, and I'll say, "Yeah, you do," or "Yeah, you don't," right? And then they can proceed the way they want, but they don't get hit with a claim, right? So you can have somebody look at your roof, and you don't. The bottom line is this: you can have somebody look at your roof, and you don't need to sign a contract with some contractor that knocked on your door to do it. All right. Your insurance agent will have a group of roofers that they worked with in the past that they can refer you. And, like if I tell them, "Yeah, you got hail on your roof," and they don't have them, they're not going to call me again.
Right.
So I got to be accurate in my assessment.
Right.
And that's just a better way of doing it.
So there's a group out there that basically is
huge group,
and they go to areas. They'll probably be in Iowa, that area right now that's had a lot of rain and chasing around.
So, from the Weather Bureau, they get point data information from the Weather Bureau, and it'll zero down to you're looking down from the sky, and it'll say 1 inch hail, and it'll show you your street names. And then they come into that area and they start knocking on your door.
Nice.
That's how they do that.
Nice.
The best way to know if you have hail damage is if there are signs all up and down your street from storm chasers in all your neighbors' yards. Then you have hail damage. Call your insurance company.
Right. So if you're the only one, you don't have hail damage. There's a very little chance that you're going to be the only one that gets hail damage. Nice.
And there's very little damage that very little chance you're going to be the only one that doesn't have hail damage in that situation where you have a lot of that activity.
What is the damage that hail does?
So it puts into the roof something we call a bruised apple. You put your thumb in it, all right, and it pushes the roofing granules down into the shingle, all right? It does nothing. But over the years, that will develop on a fiberglass shingle, that will develop into a bigger hole. So the principle is that we have to deal with the holes in the roof before they become leaks in the house.
Right, because what does it do? It pools in that. It pools in those little areas as it grows.
Well, once water gets in your roof, it's going to travel to a point where it's going to want to drop down and it becomes a leak in your ceiling. Right. That's why when you buy a house, first thing you should do is look at the roof and see how you're doing. So make that part of your home inspection.
It's something. I had it inspected, and I definitely have some sort of a little bit of hail damage because the vents have been dinted.
Right, so that's what we call soft metal damage.
So,
right.
Yeah, and I was told by a roofer, he said there's no problems right there for now, but it was probably, he said 5 to 10 years I would be replacing that roof.
So not because of the hail, maybe because you had 5 or 10 years left on the shingles. If you have a small half-inch hail, on that'll dent your soft metal, but it really won't do much to your roof. If you have aluminum siding, it will dent your aluminum siding.
Absolutely. Do you like aluminum siding? I know you're not. I know you're not.
Some places they use it. They use steel, aluminum. I do vinyl. Now the standard is a 1-inch piece of hail. And then the hardness of that hail varies also.
Yeah, that's what my wife says about me.
Well, where you live. So anyway, that's hail.
That's hail. Hail. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit back. Is that the biggest scam in roofing? Is that the weather chaser?
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay, absolutely. So as a homeowner, or as a new homeowner, everybody should be writing that down. If somebody shows up at my door and says, I need a roof because of weather, call your insurance agent.
No, call your insurance agent.
That's right. That's you've paid for yourself already, my friend. You've paid for yourself already.
And if that person knows me, they should call me. All right. So if you know somebody that's a roofer, or you work with a roofer because you bought a house, maybe you buy another house, go to that roofer and go, hey, can you go take a look? And some retail roofers know what that looks like. There's some special training that goes with it. So
I get it. Yeah. Nice.
Knock on the door, grab a cookie.
I like the way you give them a cookie. Just in case they're diabetic, get their sugar back up. Send them on.
I'm a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy. I have a specific question from a listener who wanted to know if there was a difference between GAF and Corning Owens, and which
Owens Corning.
Owens Corning. Sorry, the other one's a dish. And he's already purchased one, but the people that he was going through used to use GAF, and now they've moved on to Corning Owens Corning, and he was curious why and if there was that much of a difference and whether he was getting the better product. So,
okay, so I am a preferred contractor for Owens Corning, right? I can use whatever I want to use. If they would have picked GAF, they would have done just fine. It's a good shingle. They're about the same level. I like the Owens Corning Duration line. It's got a reinforced nailing strip, all right, which holds that shingle down better. So if you do a 4-nail pattern with that strip in there, that's going to be a much better roof than one that doesn't have it.
Right.
And usually, is it GAF? Is it Owens Corning? It's really the whole system. So it's the shingles, the hip and ridge, the starter, the ice and water, the felt, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
The ridge vent, all that.
And so, okay, that's the Cohen's Corning. What?
OC. Let's call it OC.
OC. Let's go. Okay. Let's call it OC compared to GAF. And what's the next step down from those two companies?
Something that you might, you got Lowe's out there. Or something. What do you have? Lowe's, Home Depot. What do you
Lowe's,
got?
Home Depot, both. Yep, yep.
So all of those kind of companies will have a lesser shingle like Castlebrook, or something that they carry that's probably $5 or $6 a bundle less.
So
that's $15 a bundle less per square.
So not worth it. Not worth it in the long run.
It depends. It depends. Look, are you gonna live in this house for a long time? Are you flipping properties? So for different people, they have different questions. You know.
Well, that's you just brought up something that concerns me about buying something, because flipping properties, people seem to put a little bit cheaper of a product in certain places, and that's something that we're finding a lot on the house that we have in Virginia. Is they've cut corners, and there's no way once the roofing is done you can find out what kind of roofing is on there, is there?
No, but look, if you go inspect the roof, it's either going to be a good install or a bad install. That'll help a lot. All right. And if look at Owens Corning, GAF has a 50-year warranty. All right. Owens Corning probably has something like that, but a 30-year warranty, 35-year warranty. Your roof's not going to last 35 years. So how long is it going to last? Right. It depends on where you live and what it's been exposed to for all that time. Right? The kind of heat, the kind of cold, you know. What you can't say emphatically.
What color of shingle should people go with? Is there something that's a better for the elements, for cooling, for heating, in the winter, and cooling in the summer? Is there something that everybody should be going with rather than look? Because I know that people go, well, that's a better looking roof, but is it really better for you?
Some people, there are Energy Star shingles. They're generally white shingles, so you can do that if you're trying to keep your house cooler or whatever. I like, you can really go with any color. You really can. Some of them don't show hail as much as other ones, so they say don't go with a dark color. But I think you can go with any color. Generally, what I do, if you have a piece of the shingle, right, like a sample piece you get at the store, you look closely at it. It's got 3, 4, 5 different colors in there. So I take my color pattern out of my house, right? Oh, I got that color, that color, that color. That's in this shingle, then it's kind of in tune,
Right.
Or you do complete contrast. So there's different approaches, but as far as other than an Energy Star shingle, nothing to worry about there. You can pick whatever you want.
Okay.
And then certain areas of the country have more hail, so they have more hail resistant shingles. In my area, we don't need that. We don't have super huge hail. Probably in Virginia, you don't need it. Probably not even in California.
The thing that we need in Virginia is as the weather, the heating of the earth happens, we seem to be getting more and more wind, and tornadoes and hurricanes are coming up. Is there a certain type of roof that is better for that kind of thing?
They do have roofs that are more wind resistant. But let's just go back to the Owens Corning quickly because I have the material in front of me. An Owens Corning duration roof is rated, I believe, 135 mile an hour winds.
Right.
All right. That pretty much covers it. 200 mile an hour wind, the house is gone.
That's not, and nobody's home. Nobody's home anymore.
Nobody's home anymore.
Don't worry about.
Be home for a while.
That's right. Don't worry about your roof because you're going to have to be putting up some walls as well. Yeah. So 135 mile an hour resistant is yeah. I don't want to be living in an area that's getting more wind than that, to be honest with you. So.
By the way, if you do come home and your house is not there anymore, first phone call your insurance company.
That's funny.
They'll know how to deal with that.
Get a cookie out. Have that cookie to bring your blood sugar.
There won't be a cookie, buddy, unless your neighbor's still there and they got cookies.
I don't know. They'll be there, boy. Oh my goodness. my parents, where I grew up, is in Terrace, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada, up near Alaska. A lot of the roofs have problems with moss. Have we come up with some? Well, that's when I was a kid. Have we come up with something since then that keeps the moss off the roof? Is there something you can do that helps you with moss on the roof? And I noticed that it usually is on one side of the roof rather than the other, and I don't know if that's
The north side.
the north side is because it doesn't get as much sun, or is it?
Yeah, because it's going to stay wet. It's going to be a shadier side. It's going to have colder winds, whatever. It's on the north side. Just kind of like an oak tree. If you look at an oak tree, at the base of an oak tree, it's got moss on the north side also.
So this is a learning show for me.
Hiking around, yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, though, there's a few things that grow on your roof, all right, depending on where you're at. We have all of them. But there's lichens, which is like a little sea green kind of scab-looking thing that'll be on your roof. Then you have the green moss that you see on your roof, especially on cedar roofs and things like that. And then the other one is algae. It's black. It looks like your roof is crying. It comes down in streaks on your roof. And you seen that?
I've seen that,
that is. It's algae. So now most companies, or most decent companies, GAF, Owens Corning, they have a 10 or a 15-year algae resistant warranty. All right. And essentially what they did is they added some metals that the algae doesn't like into their shingles. They looked at the house and they go, well, below that zinc vent right there, there's no algae. Well, what's the deal? Well, then they started to go in that direction with their R&D and develop these shingles that are resistant to algae for a while. But let's say you do have a roof that has moss on it. What should you do? You can hire a company to come and clean a roof. All right. It's a very specific process. But if you want to take care of it yourself, you could probably do that. You don't want to use a pressure washer. You're going to take all the granules off your roof, right? But if you want to hose it down and sweep it down and clean it off that way, you can do that without disrupting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no pressure washer, but a normal hose and probably not a very rough broom either, right? More of a.
You could probably have pretty aggressive broom. I'd use a pretty aggressive one so you can get in there and scrub it out.
Do you are you with roofing? Do you do gutters as well, or is that?
I do roofing, gutters, siding. All right, and then also I deal with the other big part of roofing, and we haven't gotten to this yet, but you've kind of touched on it a couple times. Is ventilation. It's probably the most important part of the whole roof thing. Is making sure that your roof is ventilated right. Right. So if I were to come to your house and look at your roof to give you an estimate, I go in your attic,
right,
and I would inspect your attic for certain things.
What are you able to tell us? What certain things you'd be looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to let you in on the whole thing. I'm looking for airflow. All right. So let's say in Virginia it's 80 degrees outside, and I poke my head up and get up in your attic, and it's 160 degrees in there. It means your roof attic is not breathing. All right. So over the course of time, if it's 160 degrees in your attic, you're cooking the wood and the shingles from underneath, and you're knocking down their lifespan because you're baking them essentially from underneath. And we need to keep a good flow. Not only does it get the heat out, but it gets the moisture out. So as far as what I've been told by the roofing companies, we put about 2 gallons for a regular size family, 2 gallons of air every day gets vented out through the top of our house. Showers, cooking, plants, aquariums, all that moisture in our house, sweat. It's got to leave. If it doesn't leave, it's going to be hot in there and moist, which is going to grow mold on the backside of your shingles. So before you buy a house next time, you should know what the backside of that looks like and if you've got proper venting, because it could be a big problem to deal with in certain situations. It could be a lot of money.
Question for you about the venting. If it's hot in there, but it's not 160 degrees, is there a problem, or is that normal?
It should be within 10 or 15 degrees of the outside temperatures in all times of the year. That also includes when it's minus 30 outside in the wintertime.
Oh,
We want it to be minus 30-ish in our attic. We want it to be cold like that.
Okay, and then with the venting, I was at a home and garden show this weekend, and they have these things that are called house fans. Do you know what I'm talking about? It seems to go in. It goes into your attic, and it sits on the roof, and it's got some sort of like almost like a light on top of it, and then the fan blows. It takes the air and sucks it out.
It's going to pull the air. That's good on certain kinds of roofs, like hip roofs. That's a good thing because you can't have enough ridge on a hip roof to run a ridge vent on the whole thing, or even have enough box vents. You know, if it's really long on the bottom and short on the top. You know what a hip roof is?
No, I don't.
Looking at me funny.
I don't know what a hip roof is. No, you're looking at you funny. I'm like, what the hell?
A house with a hip roof.
Yeah.
A house with a hip roof has a roof that goes around all four sides, or I'm sorry, has a gutter that goes around all four sides.
Huh.
A house with a gable roof only has a gutter on two sides.
Oh, I got a gable roof.
Think about that. Now you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, that fan is good, but one thing that you need it hooked up to is not only a temperature, a thermometer inside, a thermostat inside, but also a humidistat, because it has to vent also for humidity, not just heat.
Huh. I think I need to have
humidity.
I think I need to have a roofer.
Big part of it.
I think I need to have a roofer come over to my Virginia house, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to, because I know there's an unfinished room behind, up on the upstairs. There's an unfinished room, and it gets hot in there, like a motherfucker. It gets hot in there. So, and I'm just like, well, that's not an attic. It's an unfinished room, and it's a weird, like, kind of hidden, almost, you know, like a game room or something to be used. But when I say it's unfinished, it's not even insulated. So I'm going to be insulating it this summer when I go out there, and to see if that changes anything. So, because I think there's some ventilation going on in the roof.
Right. So, you definitely. I asked you earlier when your house was built out there, and you said 2002. So in 2002, the people that were making houses, the architects, were thinking about venting. In 1970, they weren't. All right. In 1950, they weren't.
Right.
So, you know, you have different situations for all those decades as we're moving up. So I know you have OSB underlayment on your roof, right? Or I'm sorry, OSB sheathing on your roof. And I know that you have soffit vents underneath, right? So you have perforated soffit vents underneath, right? Yep. So in the world of ventilation, here's how it works. That's air in. The ridge vent on top is air out, all right?
Okay.
You have to match air in for air out. So for as much, if you had more, you'd want more air in. So you can only have as much air circulating as you have air out.
I think I have
Ever
more.
been in a house on a windy day and you're upstairs reading a book and somebody walks in and your door slams?
Yeah.
That's how your roof breathes. Same thing. The top vent is going to suck that air through those bottom vents through and cool or warm your roof, basically.
Okay.
So that all has to work all the way through. It's the whole process. We could talk about this for hours and hours, but that's more important.
That's more important. So just make sure I'm gonna bring it to a close today. My young man out there that's buying this new roof, make sure that your ventilation is done. Make sure that you get yourself a roofer that is a local roofer, not a wind chaser or a storm chaser as they call them. Make sure that you don't put in an insurance claim. Make sure you call your insurance adjuster. Completely two different things, right?
Yep.
And I think we have ourselves a roofer expert, making it sound something horrible. Go downtown and pop a couple pills into a girl's drink. He's a roofer expert. A roofer expert. Would you mind if we called you up every so often and asked you questions when we come to roofs and siding and
roof, siding, gutters, ventilation, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I'm a jack of all trades.
I'd love it.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. And if people are in the Madison area, they're looking for Panther roof.
Panther exteriors.
Panther
Panther
exteriors. I love it.
Yeah.
Is it a Black Panther exterior?
Call the Panther. It's a Black Panther.
Do you guys have a commercial?
No.
You guys need a
I
commercial.
don't have a commercial.
We're gonna have to write you a commercial.
I'm gonna make some videos pretty soon for my
Absolutely.
Facebook.
If you have videos and any sort of clips that we can put up on our page of your business, so we can send people to you, Panther in Madison.
I'll have my
Wisconsin.
guy call your guy.
Have my guy call your guy. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for being such a great guest. And we have an expert on the exteriors. Have a great day, bud.
Thanks, Ian Bagg. Bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
I'm caught on this thing. Wow, Chris, that was intense.
That was really good though. A lot of people were commenting like they really learned a lot during that segment.
Like the most that they've ever learned on the show, probably.
Yeah. Most people were like, I didn't know about ventilation and all of that.
I didn't know about ventilation. I learned a lot of things. I learned so much, and I only did 3 jokes. I only did the roofing joke, and I did a couple other things, and I said a couple things, and he completely ignored them.
I think it's because he's from the Wisconsin area.
He's like, hey, you gonna put some curd on that? Some cheese curd on that? He was great. I loved it. Yeah, he's awesome. He was no bullshit. He's like, you can get your thing, but you can get this too, and you can spend $6 more and have a good goddamn product. I love that. And I love that he just called out scammers right away. Renee!
There he is.
Everybody, Renee showed up. He said, my child had to go to the doctor, and now I'm here. Hey, Renee, would you like to be involved in our new segment, Guess What Ian Bagg Found for Your House?
I like that.
Okay. We don't have any music for it?
Sorry, I was just informed of this last minute, so I apologize. I'll come up with something.
Okay, come up with something. Hey, by the way, Chris, any questions before we go before this? Because I think we're at 37 minutes, so we are live right now. Yeah, we're still live right now. So do we have any questions before I bring up?
No, it was mostly just about like they wanted to know where he was from, but you said it at the end. So.
At the end?
Yeah.
Make sure you guys send this to anybody that you know that's doing housing things that involves roofs. If you have any questions about roofs, we can contact him. We can ask those questions to him. We can have him back on the show. We can have him send you a video. He wants to help people. He wants to do his own YouTube channel. He just wants to help people. So and he wants to sell you. He wants to sell you a roof. Hey everybody, welcome to the new segment. Hey everybody, welcome to the new segment. This is what I found this weekend. Actually, I didn't find it this weekend. I replaced it this weekend. This is a shower mirror. Okay? And I'm sure everybody is going, yeah, we've seen a shower mirror before. But I'm sure that you've had the problem that I've had all the time. It fogs up. Renee?
It fogs up.
Chris?
Fogs up every time?
Fogs up, and it is bullshit. Well, this is called the Softworks. It's from OXO. If you take a look at the back of it, you take it off, you fill it up in the shower while you're in there. It just takes a little bit of water. That makes the mirror the same temperature as the shower. Therefore, it doesn't fog up. It just it's got a suction cup that you can suction to your wall, and boom, by the way, in the last year when I shave, I don't leave a patch here anymore because I'm able to use the mirror, because a lot of guys don't notice and you leave a little bit of a patch. I know I didn't shave today because I went and skated at the ice rink with the Los Angeles Kings. So this is what it's called. If you shave your puss, you can put it down there. If you're one of the ladies down there, you can put it down there. Get a couple jokes in there. So that is the Softworks. Shave your face, ladies. Make your eyebrows perfect. That's right. Ian Bagg brings you more and more information all in one show. Thank you for tuning in this week, guys. I think we're back. I think we're back and we're having fun. And songs. My wife said you did a lot of singing last weekend. I don't think you should sing. There's a thing called deaf tone, and you have it. I went and seen Rocket Man this weekend too. Very good movie. It's the musical Brokeback Mountain. there's a lot of men kissing in that movie, and I was with all old people, and I just I think a lot of old, because my wife made me go to the 4:15 movie. You know, when you come out of a movie and it's only 6 o'clock, you feel really old. I said, you want to go get some eggs? Anyways, people, tune in to lunch, Ian's Lunch Friday on Fridays. This lunch I'm going to be doing from my house this week, and you can see how cloudy it is in Los Angeles right now. I did it from my house last week. I'll be making a tuna salad this week that involves an asparagus as well as cucumber. Oh, I just unplugged the whole thing? Oh. You could have just told me to plug it in. So, people, did they hear what I'm making?
I don't know.
I'm making a tuna salad this weekend that involves cucumber and asparagus. So tune in, Ian's Lunch Friday. Shows tonight, Hermosa Beach Magic Comedy Club. Improv, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 15-minute spots. And I am going to play some video games on Twitch this afternoon. So maybe you might want to tune into that. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you for listening or watching to Ian Bagg Bought a House, a show brought to you by Corning Owens. And we're clear.